quick explanation on how I set up the pond and the filtration. So there's an Oazi 9000 pump which pumps the water up through the bog filter. You can't really see it in there, but there is a Y connection that then also goes into that trickle filter because the flow to the bog filter was too great. And moving up to the bog filter, which I showed in previous videos, growing really well now. The water's pumped up underneath as a bog filter would through all the rocks, the large rocks, into 20mm then 10mm gravel. All the plants are going crazy. That's the plants I use. I've actually just put some impatiens in there and I put them straight into the plugs in the little plastic trays there. They grow really well, and then it's gravity fed back into trickle filter, all DIY made, and like I say, it goes from gravity into the trickle filter, and on this side there's the pump on the left hand side too, just to reduce the flow going into the bog filter, and then it goes back via the waterfall back in there. You can see an aerator down there. That's your solar panel. I also use a solar panel little water fountain then, so it's run off one pump. I use a lot of plants. I've planted them back there. That's red lobelia, purple loosestrife. I've already chopped back the marsh marigold because they flowered. They'll flower again later on, and then put the iris outside the pond because they grow so high. One thing I do use, you'll see a lot around the pond, is watercress. Later on in the year I'll cull all that, and as the bog filter dies back I'll put all the watercress in there, grow it over winter covered up, and then that itself is your greatest ally against algae. I don't suffer with algae at all now for 2 or 3 years, and I would say it's down to the bog filter but also the watercress, because it just removes so much nutrients early on in the spring when the temperature starts to rise. But that's how I've set it up. It's all DIY done, all very cheaply done. It runs off of one pump.